Good evening and welcome to Division 2 China League of Europe Season X. I'm commentating Montana, and commentating with me tonight is once again the slightly laggy but the funkiest of chickens, Mr. Funky Chicken.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So we're racing around China today, so it should be an interesting race, and hopefully it can be a little bit as chaotic as we saw in D1 earlier.
Yeah, I wouldn't really mind having a calm race for myself, but I think this should be quite an exciting one, a close one. China always an outlier in terms of pace, and also the pad guys are obviously going to be up there. Just saying. But yeah, the championship leader is not driving tonight. Mr. Killer is not driving because he's in Switzerland for some fucking reason. And we have Joom deciding not to ready up. Ooh, that's gonna break the game, isn't it? Might as well. Alright, let's have a look.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck Christ. Oh, full wets, full wets. Here we go.
Jesus.
Here we go. Alright, let me just message one of my guys in D4, the setups. Oh my crikey. Okay. Full wets, what do you say?
I struggle to drive around this track in the dry, let alone the full wet, so it's going to be very challenging for the drivers out there. It's a track that's normally quite slippery, so in the full wet conditions, it's going to be even more tricky to drive. And I did check the stream, and the mics do sound fine, so that should be good, and hopefully it can stay that way.
Yeah, excellent. I can say from wet practice that I did, you need a completely different setup in the wet compared to the dry, as Rick is already teasing us with intermediates. Switching, yeah, I see that. So yeah, you need a lot of that. You almost need 50-50 wings in the full wet conditions, but in the dry that's not going to work. So if you have any input about how the race is going to be, that would be great, because that's quite crucial in terms of picking setups. And that might make a huge difference in terms of quality and race speed. But I don't think I've seen anything yet in the chats.
No, but yeah, Adamako's first out on track, and he's already nearly binned it on the exit there, and leading to the end of the first set. So just a bit too much throttle on his car's nearly gone flying the wall. So it's not a great start for Adamako, especially in this season, because he also, I think, had an incident lap one or something last race, and ended up DNFing halfway through the race. So he needs a good bounce back today, and that is probably not a confident sign from him.
Yeah, you need so much more rear wing compared to front wing in the wet on this track, and people that will just go out on dry setups are going to notice that very soon, and I think we will see a couple of spins tonight. Adamako, yeah, one of the guys not having a good race. There were a lot of drivers not having a good race last week, but especially Larkin as well, but Larkin was really strong in time trial, so he'll be absolutely swearing at the weather right now. He would have been easily the candidate for pole position. Droom is on inters. Rick is on inters. Interesting, you could say. The bar is already low. Excellent. And yeah, I don't know. It looks full wets for me. Obviously, once the inters start working, and if the rain gets a bit less, it's going to be a huge difference quite quickly. But even full wets seem to struggle still. But anyways, I'll let you talk through one lap of Adamako GTFC underline 22 around China in the wet. Take it away.
So he goes through the final corners, trying to get the best run to start off the lap there, but maybe runs in a little bit too deep initially, but going down into turn 1, 2, 3 and 4 you could say, but this corner is probably what feels like the longest on the track. It just doesn't stop there. Drops it down into first gear and then quickly short shifts up into second. Then into turn 4 here. Holds it in second and short shifts into third, just to try get a bit more stability there. Bit of a wiggle, but it's solid on the power into fourth gear. It's the end of the first sector. It's good start to the lap there, but it could definitely, there's still time. It sets 28.0, goes way too deep into turn 5, misses the apex, touches the curb on the outside, and you don't want to be doing that in the full wet from my own experiences. They can be very slippery and turn the car around. Quick downshift there into fifth gear as he gets it turned in pretty nicely, and then into the next one, just right on the curb there, close to the apex, and then drops to third gear and then goes goes down to second, hits the apex again nicely. This is very tricky in the dry, and the fullback there, he's got a big snap on the radar. Manages to keep the car facing the right way, which is very surprising, but down into the end of the second sector, there's a 1 minute and 1.6 goes way too deep, so they're compromising down this entire straight. Is it just a very long corner as well? It's similar to when and then he's got a massive snap again on the rear, but he manages to keep it facing the right way. But it's been a very scruffy lap here from Adamako, but again, he's just probably testing out the conditions a bit and seeing where he can improve for his next lap. But now, going into turn 14 on the tracks is a hard braking zone. It's easy and just goes way too deep and scrubs off way too much speed on the exit, so definitely not the best lap I've ever seen. But now into the final turn, gets it hooked quite nicely, just misses the inside curb and just uses a bit on the exit, but up to the line is a 1 minute 48.624.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna lose some social points in China with that lap. Mix of understeer and oversteer everywhere. Let's keep an eye on how the Inters guys are doing. Let's see how Joom is faring out of the snail section onto the straight. Wesker can't beat his teammate. Alex G absolutely stomps it with a 1.5 seconds lead. And the Inters don't look too bad, you know. I think people are gonna switch quite soon if that's actually the case. Yeah, Rick with a 47.7, but let's have a look at Joom into the last hairpin. Is he gonna cross the Chinese border like the Macro almost does it? Just about stays on track. And through the last corner, is he gonna Tony Hawk it on the exit curve? Absolutely not. To the line, and it's Inter's time. Liam and some McLaren, I think the Scream having a little kerfuffle in the hairpin as well, almost tripping over each other, starting and finishing their laps. Liam to the line, and it's maybe not Inter's time. Spicy. What do you reckon? What would you be on at the moment?
Well, it's Liam there goes off track. I think he's getting out of the way of driver, but I'm probably one of the most cautious drivers known to man, so I would probably be on the full wet tyres, but within a few minutes I reckon it'll go down to the Inters there. But we've seen like very close times between the tyres, which is pretty impressive, to be fair. To say the conditions went from looking torrential rain at like 5 minutes ago to it nearly looking like the weather's nearly done.
Yeah, I will be on mediums at this stage. Hello, D1 viewers. Look, yeah, the rain is almost stopping already. I think at the end of the session, there might almost be a dry track, a dry racing line. D Mort's now on a set of Inters, starting his lap. He's probably going to go pole with this one already.
Yeah, and especially with how quick we saw it dry up in D1, I would not be surprised if we see soft tyres by the end of this session here. But we've got quite a large field spread, I'd like to say, but that might be due to setup as well. As Alex the G and Liam, they could be running full wet setups for all we know, but that would cost them massively in the race. So if I was a driver right now, I would be sticking to the dry setup, as that is if it is dry in the race. But as you were saying, the setups can differ so much between the full wets and the dry.
Yeah, we'll probably only get an answer in the race, as Schum back to back without ERS goes quickest. So yeah, I think if you're on the full wets now, you really want to pit. As Fashion Gold goes third on a set of full wets still. I don't think it's the way to go. Let's see D Mort's finishing his lap. Has he timed this to perfection? Probably all the lap times are irrelevant right now anyways, because the track is gonna get quicker. Puts it into P3, so still got some wets up there, but yeah, it's definitely gonna dry out. Let's see if the rain stops anytime soon, but a couple of drivers not got a lap yet. Do you know if anyone has got a quali ban?
No, I don't think so. I didn't even think D3 had many reports last week. I think we only saw, it was a 5-second penalty applied to Jacob, but...
Ooh, did you just call D2 D3? Oh, the roast.
Oh, yeah,
the roast. Yeah. No, it's
a rookie mistake.
No, it's just I can understand why you said that.
Some of the views as well that I didn't know. QVR Killer actually won last time out as he got a warning removed, which allowed him to take the race victory. So he is now our championship leader with Alex G in second.
Yeah, I think Alex G wasn't even supposed to race last week properly. I think it was just a last second decision that he can race because this driver didn't show up, but then wanted to show up. Rick now puts it into P1 with a 45.7. Anyone else? Is Miami gonna finish his lap on the full wets? No, he's not. The Mort's up by half a second. He needs to find some time in the last sector. RJW is staying out on the wets. What is he doing? Alright, the W in his name probably stands for the wets. Puts it up to P6. Not the greatest of ideas, but all will be all on the end of the session anyways, probably. Let's see the Immorts again through the last corner. Takes it really cautiously, but there could still be enough for a provisional pole. Just about not. Puts a P2, purple last sector. Track is getting faster and faster.
I don't think we've got anyone finishing the lap now, but I think Nova's just about to open up his lap areas. He's on an out lap, but he's got Haas quite close in behind him there of Patuka, so I think Patuka wants to be backing off a little bit just to make sure he doesn't get any dirty air, but Nova is going to start his lap, so would you maybe want to take us through a lap as we see him encountering quite a bit of traffic as well, that are coming out the pits?
Yeah, sure. So into turn 1 we go. You were speaking about Oxide, right? Or which one did you want to go on board with?
Oxide, Nova, yeah.
Alright, my good old rival from F1 2017. He uses first gear, good lad, but isn't short shifting out of first gear. That's an interesting way to approach wet conditions. Out of turn 2, into this section. I don't think that's turn 3. This is turn 3 for me. Brakes nicely. You want to miss the apex by a little bit. You can get some good traction. Not if your name is Oxide Nova. Absolutely spins up the wheels, kicks it out with the Alfa Romeo. Into the fast corners, you need the high downforce here. Tries to avoid the curb a little bit, can be quite slippery in the wet. You want good rotation for this one. Keeps it nicely in third gear. Really cautious on the throttle. Just about goes flat now. No Tony Hawk impressions on the exit curbs. 2.2 seconds up on his delta. Tricky section here, a bit trickier in the drive probably. But now in the wet, you can just take your time, be cautious, be really patient on the throttle. Don't take a too narrow line. Now that was quite a good exit. Might be a bit misleading because he's not pushing as hard and not pushing the track conditions to the maximum. But it didn't look like an unclean lap, so if he doesn't get the traffic in the last sector, he could have put it up there for now. But you probably still find some time to improve, getting used to the conditions. The hairpin, also short shifting a bit out of there. And then the last corner, you just hope, just hanging on to your life and everything you have. Touched the inside curve a bit too much, but easy pole position at the moment. Immediately bettered by Patuka by 7/10. That's a short-lived joy for Oxide, but it just proves the track and the drivers are getting better and better. And I think we have to wait all the way until the end of the session until we get a final result and we can judge the situation a bit better. Chill in P2. Hope he's not afraid of heights being up there for once. But yeah, anyone you see on have good luck?
Larkin has just, I've seen him coming into the final car now, and it's been a great lap up until now from what I've seen on board. I think it was a 3-second improvement after set 2, but up to the line here, does a 143.2 and goes on to pole position by 7/10, and this was the Larkin I'd say we were expecting in D2 this season, not the one we saw at Australia last weekend.
Oh, we got Lifeboat out of the pits on his outlap in turn 1. Didn't like it. Oh, and he spins again. Oh no. Imagine if that was on stream. Oh no. Anyways, yeah. Larkin, yeah, China has a really good track for him. And he obviously probably prefers it to be into sort of dry conditions. So he can use his pace to put it up there. Taupe is really close though on the Williams. Only 4 milliseconds behind. Miami hasn't gotten the lap in yet. Darry, I think Darry could also be on to look out for. He makes a hash of that hairpin. Got understeer and oversteer in the same corner. Probably puts it up there as well, but misses another apex. Leaves all the apexes for the other guys. What a generous guy. Puts it up to P8. And Oxide also finishing his lap and puts it back up into P5.
As Patuka there goes on to pole position now by 2/10 a second. I just wanted to point out also D. Mortz and Scream putting themselves up in P4 and P5 and separated by only 6 thousandths of a second as Adamako in P6 now, only 12 thousandths behind them as well. So this is the kind of gap we were expecting, like really close grid films, and in these conditions, it's even closer than I were expecting.
Oh, shame about that little slight scream just had on the exit. He was 9 tenths up in the middle sector. So much time on there. Miami going first with the first 42 of the night, but I think we're gonna jump straight into the 41s in a second. Scream running out of ERS. Obviously, you can't do 2 laps in a row really in terms of ERS on this game. You use so much battery, so you're derating for quite a while. Scream decides to pit. That's actually a really good idea. Pit now for a set of fresh in to just get the lap in as late as possible, and have the freshest rubber as possible as well.
Lifeboat strategy is really confusing me because he doesn't have a quali band. I've just seen him go out on an out lap, then come straight back into the pits. So I'm not too sure what he's doing there, but also another surprise is Luke and Chris down in P17 and P19. They were some of the best drivers we saw around Australia last week. Luke with the great recovery and Chris going for, I think it was the medium soft strategy, which worked out really well for him, just going P3 on the podium.
We see some slipstream action from Aston Martins again, like in Division 1. Wesker getting the toe of his life. That's not a toe, that's a whole finger, mate. Unreal. Beautiful straight line speed. Does he make the braking zone? Yes, he does. Now easy on throttle, and he could put it up there from P18 to P1. It was over 3 seconds up on his best time. Ooh, a bit scruffy there, but keeps the speed. Yeah, he's gonna put it up there. First 41 of the night, 41.8. That was perfect tactics from Aston Martin. But some people are pitting now. Is that too late, you reckon? Oh, as Alex G just put 6/10 into that.
I think they've just got a tiny margin left here, but I'm not the expert around here. You are, but
Definitely not.
G, yeah, just great laps there. Goes 6/10 clear of Westgray, so the track is continuously improving as we're seeing a lot of people now on out laps, and also a few crossing lines. We're seeing RJ put it in P3.
Not bad. Would you say Alex is the top G again?
Just by this quality session, it seems to be that way, as we see Topaz again go up into P2 then, only just behind Alex G, but Alex G does remain on top for now, so we must have to call him the top G.
I'm gonna make that joke all season long. Beautiful. Alright, Chill just mounted that curve like his sister. Unreal stuff. Way too much curve. Bounced off it. And that's probably his lap gone, but he's still carrying on. Timing wise, it's going to be a bit awkward now with all the people going to queue up in the last sector, trying to start a lap as late as possible. Chill still 1.5 seconds up. Petuka also 1 second up. Petuka, if he can hook up this last sector, although he's out of ERS, it could be a provisional pole for him. Loads of inside curve there as well. Puts it into P3. Good effort, but I think he's going to struggle to improve with no battery.
As we now seen a Red Bull 1-2 as Liam goes into P1, 3/10 clear of Alex G. As I think Alex G isn't going for a final. He's not on a lap at the moment, but he will have time. But he's waiting a bit to try to find a gap in the traffic as he's just found it, so I think he should be fine. As we see him, it's like the Alpines coming through now, also doing slipstream. As Miami goes into the braking of hairpin, it takes a lot of inside curve and gets on the throttle quite nicely there. Now up into the final corner. See Fashion Gold going to P1 with 140.0 over 9/10 clear. Miami up to the line. Is it going to be enough as DRS has been enabled?
DRS is enabled?
P2.
Oh, that's harsh for some people. DRS enabled in Intus conditions. Why the fuck not, FAA? Yeah, also the Alpha Tauris tried to slipstream, so quite popular around this track and probably the whole game. Adamako somewhere off the track. Don't know how we tied there. Didn't even know there was a wall there, but let's see if we can pick it up with a Red Bull. Oh, he's right out there. So yeah, people finishing laps probably be glad. Okay, the DRS is going to be turned on. That's another half a second for free. Gary saying language. As if an Irish person knows something about languages. Alright, Liam into the last hairpin. Yeah, rotates it, let's say that. Kind of keep it together with no battery as well in the last sector, but with the DRS he's easily going to put it on the front row. Is it going to be quick enough for a 39? Yes, the first 39 of the night, but I think we're going to have purple rain in a second.
Yeah, I'm on board with Alex G, and I know DRS has just been enabled, only 1.1 seconds up after the end of sector 2, so just depends how much DRS is going to gain from into the final sector area, but brakes nicely for the hairpin, getting turned in, takes less curb than we saw Miami use, but gets on the throttle a bit nicer. It's getting sometimes to see Chill go up into P5, there's a 40.9 as Luke has now gone up into P1, and Scream's going to P1, and then Fashion Gold's now going into P1, so I don't know what I'm witnessing here. As Alex G goes to P2, no longer watching as Fashion Gold gets tops now.
Yes, Larkin now puts it into P1, 4 tenths ahead of anyone else. Tope also finishing his lap. It's Ultra Meva, Zoom on pole, provisional. Can Tope it? No, he can't. High 38, I think that's it. Miami is not on a lap, and I think we have a quali grid. And it's Zoom, of all guys, in his coming back season in P1, ahead of Larkin. Was expected a little bit from Larkin, but how the track dried up at the end, you wonder, was it almost enough for dries?
Yeah, I'm completely gobsmacked. About 30 seconds ago, I was saying Luke was P1, and now he's down in P11 for the second week in a row. So the track ripped up so much, and to be honest, going on board with the cars now, it looks bone dry. So if anyone maybe took the gamble for slicks, they could have potentially had an easy pole position, but we see Ferrari 1-3, and we've seen this before, so how will this end for them tonight? Will they make the right strategy call for a change?
Well, probably not, but we'll see. Yeah, interesting quali once again. The field spread is quite large due to the conditions. It's 9 seconds. Well, the Alphas didn't have a great qualifying. Oxide in P18 and Chris in P20. Probably didn't get the laps in when the track was at its best, and that's how timing can absolutely screw you over, and you start down there instead of the top.
Yeah, and I think the bottom three drivers are more surprising to me. As we saw Oxide last season have a really strong race around Spa, I think it was, so sure you can be a race winner. And Chris in P20 and Darry in P19. It's just a very mixed up grid here, so I think we're going to see a lot of action for the race, which will make it even better for us to commentate on tonight.
Yep, should be an interesting one, as Stroom gets pole position in the Larkin and Fashion Gold. Spanish and the Portuguese sharing the top three. Then we have Tope in P4, Morse in P5, Alex the G only in P6, Scream up in P7, Lifeboat in P8. Somehow managed to not spin anymore and put it up there quite nicely without that many laps under his belt. Rick in P9, RJW videos in P10, 1.1 seconds covering them, and then it's quite a drop off behind. But I can't complain, that was quite an exciting quali.
Yeah, very exciting call, and the field spread as well from P11 down to P20. 8.3 seconds. I think Chris didn't get a proper lap time on the board there, but there's still a very large field spread, so maybe there's been some full wet setups being used as it looks dry, but it does look very overcast, so
Yeah.
we could maybe see some weather changes like D1.
Oh, no, please don't. Yeah, it looks like it. The track just almost dried up right away, but we'll see if there's any rain coming. Cantera saying legend Zoom. Yes, Cantera, good old Spanish mate of Zoom. So the question is just what lap is Zoom gonna bottle it? Or is he not for once? Well, we'll see. Obviously be ready right away because there's still no formation lap because the game is broken. So I hope everyone realizes that, not like last week where we had someone just not drive away from the grid, I think. But yeah, all tire options as well open there. Probably some guys opting for the medium. It's a safe strat. Just put a set of mediums on and see what happens at the end. But yeah, what tire would you go on?
So I haven't driven China this game yet, but I have done on previous games.
Oh.
So I'd say I'd probably start on the medium tires. We're getting underway straight away, so I'll let you take it away.
It's 5 red lights, and it's away we go. We see some ghosting off the grid right away, but I think everyone made it. We see a lot of different tire choices. Fashion Gold from P3, puts it down the inside into P1. No, he doesn't. Troom hangs around the outside, goes across on there. Larkin on the Hearts having a bit of a difficult start. They obviously need to warm up. Do we have any issues behind? No, it's just 2x2 IndyCar style through the first couple of corners. And everyone is still alive, I guess, more or less. As yeah, Barry and Oxide at the back having a good old thing now.
Yeah, I've been on board with Luke, just split the field in half basically. And he had a strong start, but he's just lost out there. He's got lost a bit of traction. But there's 2 weeks in a row we've seen really clean starts from D2A, so they're doing a good job from that aspect. Let's just hope the driving standards can be a bit better this week, which they weren't too bad last week. I see Luke's gone into the back there of
Why do
Liam, and
you
that could
say it? Why do you
potentially
jinx it?
there could potentially be some damage to the commentator's curse. Comes into full effect as usual, as we've seen some side by side between Chill and I can't even tell who that is. Chris says Chill has gone about 2 miles an hour, which is a bit confused, lost a few places there, but it seems like he's getting out of the way, so yeah, Chill has got some damage on the front end plate. Spoke too soon.
Yeah, and Miami has spun in the corner. I don't know what exactly happened there. Tucker gets past Chris. We have some action in the front? Not really. Luke is still fighting for his life. Oh, Wesker down the inside. Some wheel-to-wheel contact, but everything is fine. Yeah, they all almost made it through the first lap without any issues. Oh, as Wesker does the best 50-50 Tony Hawk style out the last corner. As we have a yellow flag, as Oxide is bottled it out the last corner.
That's it's not a weird place to spin, but it's not a normal place to spin. Obviously, you can just take the curb a little bit, take a little bit too much curb, and the car goes around there. But we've seen Larkin struggle initially on these hard tyres, and I think you started on the hard tyres in D1, so can you give us like any insight on what they feel like?
Yeah, the hards are horrible. They're horrible. Well, the mediums are definitely the better tyre on this track. The question is just do you want to have them early or late. You can even go long on the mediums, and they're still better than a set of hards. So, interesting choice from Larkin. He obviously needs to somehow find his way back into the DRS of the other guys, and also not waste any ERS because you don't gain any back on this track unless you're in DRS and slipstream. Just so much ERS wasted, and the high wings just make it impossible to save anything. As Mortz is struggling, and Tope I think wants to pass. Is Mortz gonna let that happen? Are they gonna waste their whole battery already? Yes, Tope thinks he wants to. Or does he? Oh, he can't quite decide. He's going for it now with a slipstream. Mortz used a little bit. Yeah, it should be moved done for Tope. No, it's not. Mortz on the inside. Around the outside, he has a better traction. That's moved on. Cost him some ERS, which he's going to regret later, but important to make the move early on and get after Larkin before the gap into the two Ferraris is going to go too big.
Yeah, seeing the cork in the bottle right now is Larkin. Got a massive DRS train all the way down into P16 from P3 on the grid, so them hard tyres aren't working out well for him, and I think the majority of the grid are on mediums in behind him as well. Got a few hard runners here and there, but it's not the ideal tyre Larkin wants to be on, especially with the front two pulling away at the speed of light.
Yeah, Ferrari's working together, what? I was not used to seeing that. Larkin, yes, dropping a lot. Hard's not that much slower, but just a bit sketchy, especially on the exits. Not quite clear yet who's using a wet setup and who's not, and we don't know if there's any rain coming. It still looks really cloudy. So.
Ooh. Just seeing Liam there go for a very ambitious move around the outside there on Lifeout and tries to dive it down the inside, and Lifeout just turns in there. He's completely allowed to do so, it was his corner, but Liam there needs to just be a bit more patient, as he could have just had his race ended just at that corner on lap 2.
Yeah, really risky to stick it in there sometimes. So we see a double move. We see Tope going past Larkin and Alex G saying goodbye to his battery. Absolutely wasting it on this straight. Is he gonna send it on the inside of Larkin as well? Kinda. Oh, that's awkward. I've seen a Red Bull in that position there already. Somehow makes it work out of Mortz, but that costs a lot. He's already down on 30. He's not gonna recover well from that. And now Tope has to push as hard as he can to catch those Ferraris. But we're still leading in 1-2. Can't believe my eyes.
Yes, Liam managed to get Lifeout down the straight there. I don't think Lifeout had DRS. I think he fell a little bit too far back here, but Liam's managed to connect the DRS train once again, it looks like it's going to be that way, as he's now got within 5/10, obviously he has done. So this DRS train remains intact, with Taupe now the head of the train.
Yeah, let's see if that Williams is actually that quick on the straights like in real life. Or is Larkin actually going to stick with him through the middle sector? That's a big question. Or can he stay with him? looking good at the moment. A bit awkward with the gearing in those corners in the race. You want to shift up to 7th. When you shift up to 7th, you realize you shouldn't have done that. Just not enough revs. Too much scrubbing off the speed. And we see a huge DRS train now from top downwards. It's all the way down to P16 now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's surprising there, but also Chris now is also shaping up a move here on these hard tyres. I think Chris is the one who's made them work. He's managed to get a switchback down the inside line of RJ there. He's managed to carry the traction. You know, that's just an easy move there in the end for the Bulgarian, but nice and easy. You've seen RJ there weaving aggressively,
3 wide.
so he's either not happy.
Oh, 3 wide for P3, sorry to cut in. Oh, Alex G just about breaks there. Larkin puts Tope off track almost there. And we've seen him change for the lead. They're probably just working together, the Ferraris. I think Tope is going to fly past Larkin once again on this straight. Larkin decides now is the time to use his battery. I'm not sure about that. Keeps the position to Alex G, but they're just costing each other time now. Very valuable time.
Yeah, I'll just quickly go back to the RJ thing there. He was weaving a bit, but I think he was actually trying to get tyre temps. He's then lost a position down the straight to Adamako, so I don't think RJ is comfortable in his current setup and on the tyres he's on, but Adamako there gets pretty much a free place as Ross again is just sliding around there, so I think he's just trying to generate as much temperature as he can.
Yeah, Larkin almost pushing off Alex the G again. Obviously when the track is a bit colder, the hearts might struggle a bit, but once they're warm they work, but they still feel bad. Larkin really gets his elbows out early on the hard stint. He needs to do that to not lose as many positions as possible. And the sun is coming out, so I think, looking at this, it's probably not going to rain anymore. Also looking at the straight line speeds, it looks like they're all dry setups.
Yeah, I was just about to point that out as well, which bit of a shame, but I think it would be nice to see some more battles maybe with DRS, but as it stands I don't think we'll be seeing many with the amount of I forgot English there. The size of the train there, as we've seen, I think potentially 3 wide down the back of the grid there was Luke overtaking Recurvish and Patuka only 10th behind, but he's just not got the straight line speed to compete, as Luke's maybe looking for a double move, but no, has to back out of it.
Oh, it's all a bit awkward in the hairpin for them. And Shroom was driving Formula E style in the slipstream for a fashion goal. He lifted halfway down the straight to recover some battery and maybe save some fuel. Sorry about the sound glitch, it's already coming back. It's only going to get worse. We'll see how that develops. But yes, still the whole train stuck together all the time, a bit awkward in the hairpin. And also in turn 1, it's a bit awkward in the train because in dirt air it feels better than without dirt air. You have so much more grip or rotation for some reason. So that's something to keep an eye on, because incidents might happen because people get caught out by it. Lifeboat now almost dropping out of the DRS of Liam. Needs a good middle sector. We really realized that and uses some battery. And it's probably going to bunch up again. Tope is pushing. His pace is really good compared to the front runners. He's gained about half a second the last lap. So you want to close that gap as soon as possible. I think the Ferraris are just holding position right now, saving their battery and tyres. As True messes that chicane up a little bit, but should be fine. Tope gains a lot through there though, so yeah, we'll see. Alex G wants to get past Larkin really badly, but is it worth... Oh, yeah, he's pushing now. He's saying goodbye to his battery for the rest of the race. Is he gonna have enough power to push past? Oh, as we go 3 wide, Larkin decides to go for the outside. Tope, it's all Belgium all over again. Tope gets P4, as Alex G probably is P3. Now who's got the DRS? Oh, it's all shambles. You don't want to go side by side there. And D Morts says thank you very much, puts it up to P4.
Yeah, it's just smart driving there from D Morts, just sitting behind him waiting for the carnage to unfold in front of him there. I can't get my words out. You see Chris also getting past Wesker and Scream getting past Larkin, so Larkin's gone from P4 down to P7 as now Liam follows through as well. As Larkin maybe picked up some damage that we can't see on the front of his wing, but seems to be losing just a lot of grip, as we've seen. I think that's 3 positions lost just from that little incident alone.
Alex the G goes sideways into the corner. I think he mistrusts braking a bit. Absolutely sent it wrong. Somehow stopped it in time. No, ABS definitely saved him there. As yeah, Alex G and Larkin, they're battling. They just shot each other in the foot completely, and yeah, they just drop down the field, have no ERS anymore, and they're gonna suffer for the rest of the race. As Recurry is doing some lawn mowing as well.
Yeah, and surprisingly, with all that massive battling going on, we still have the DRS train intact from P3 to P16, so we might see a change there for P3's Diamort's got really close to the back of top there, pulls to the left-hand side end, just using a bit of battery, which I don't think was necessary, he's already ahead, but wanted to get a bit more of a gap, I'm guessing, but he needs to save his battery there, as it takes very difficult to recover around this track there. As Torp has just gone way too deep and hit it right into the back of Diamort, so we've seen a load of position changes now. And Scream has now ended up in P3. Don't know how that's happened, but Liam has now moved into P4 and Diamort has fallen to P5.
Scream is just doing what he did in Australia, staying out of trouble, not getting penalties, and somehow ending up there. And he almost broke the DRS to Liam as well. It's all changing up and down the field. And Larkin, yeah, into the pits, changing his front wing, getting that beautiful pink and blue wing on the set of mediums. He can undercut them quite nicely again, but he has to hope for some kind of carnage or a two-stop, because that really ruins his race a little bit.
But yeah, just going back on Tinted, it's getting really congested in the middle of the pack here. As we've seen also Patuka closing in to the back of Luke, as Luke's already burnt through all of his battery, so I think we'll be seeing that for another 10 laps. But they're all just chilling within 3/10 of each other, as we're seeing Liam get really close to the back of Scream, and I think he's going to make the move down the back straight.
Yeah, it should be easy pickings for him, and Scream probably not going to fight it, as smart as he is. Larkin with some live commentary in the chat saying some drivers might be a little bit stupid. Let's let's see. There'll probably be a longer stewards reports than last week. Liam easily passed Scream. Scream not fighting it, not worth doing that. They now need to work together. They now got 4.7 seconds ahead, so the Ferraris just having their own little race. This carnage again with Topi and Lifeboat. Just about managed to go side by side through the hairpin. Who wants to go first into the last corner? That's an awkward angle from Lifeboat. Oh, it gets stuck on the curb. And now Topi and Alex and G get interested back again, but they have now, if they don't be careful, lost the DRS to the group ahead.
Yeah, and also RJ's lost DRS to Adamak up head. He's just kept falling behind there. As we've seen, Alex G tried to squeeze through on the inside there from Topaz. Luke's now going to try cash in on his luck there and try get the move past Alex G. Gets good drive out the corner. Alex G has a little wiggle, and I think Luke has made the move, but Alex G does have the inside line there for turn 6 as they're going to go contact then. Very deep on the brakes, Alex G, and Topaz also has gone off the track. I don't know what is going on anymore, but no battery for anyone on this field anymore, but Alex G has somehow made the move on Luke, as Luke's now lost position to Patuka.
Yeah, Patuka helping Alex G around the corners there, pushing him through the middle sector. Human centipede F1 style through that chicane, and yeah, it's just all a bit wild. No one really wants to give up any positions. Alex G looking like he's pulling the handbrake into some corners. Patuka getting stuck on the outside curve. It's all happening, and it seems like only a couple of guys are winning from this, and the rest is losing out.
Yeah, as we've seen the DRS train broken now, as Tope has lost DRS, the car's head. It's going to be an easy move for Alex G this time around. Unlike earlier in the lap there, is Patuka going to try follow through? No, he can't, as Tope defends the inside quite nicely, but I don't think Patuka looks too interested.
Yeah, everyone getting so close and bunch up in that hairpin. Always frightens me with those front wings. But yeah, they somehow managed to keep it clean this lap. And Alex G now has the mission to catch back up as Scream gets past Liam again without using any ERS. Smart decisions, but they just lost too much time as Mort decides to stick his nose in there. And doing that, they probably lose as much time again, and that reunites the DRS train if Alex G nails the middle sector.
Yeah, I also have to say Lifeboat's doing a very good job on them hard tyres. He's keeping up with the medium runners quite comfortably. And I do think the Ferraris are too far up ahead now, probably to be catched no matter what tyre they go onto, but if he goes onto the medium tyres, he could potentially throw his hat in the ring for a podium, and I think he would do that quite comfortably. He's all over the back of D-Marks here, but Alex G has also closed the gap now to within 8/10, so he should connect to the DRS train for the 10th lap in a row on this race.
Yeah, Lifeboat, if he doesn't mess up his strategy, pits early enough not to get undercut too much, he still is in for a shout for a podium. Also, don't underestimate Larkin. He can do medium to the end now. Ooh, as Lifeboat almost drops it. Team Watch decides to do the same. The tires really get sketchy in the rears after a couple of laps. Larkin will have a huge undercut, even with that front wing change. If he gets a bit lucky, maybe with the virtual safety car, he's still in for a good points result. As Miami and Darry switch some positions. Do you have any moves? Oh, Alex the G doesn't want to go for the move that has to because he outbrakes himself once again into the side pod of Lifeboat. Don't think there's any side pod damage for that, but Alex the G, just calm it down a little bit. It's not a Bugatti, but yeah, it's all happening again.
Yeah, there's one driver I kind of want to keep a bit of an eye on here, and I think he's the only driver on the field that has over 50% ERS, and that's Adam Mako down the back of the field. You've seen Courage go a bit wide there through turn 1s, 2 and 3. He's going to have a little look at the inside, but the gap was always closing. But he's still held on to the ERS. He's got 80%, so with all the cars up ahead like struggling ERS-wise, he could just turn on that battery and fly past them if he wanted to.
Yeah, and also Lifeboat also doing a decent job at saving some battery. As Chill, how, yeah, he's still there. Picks up a penalty. How do you pick up a penalty in China? I don't know. He's having a shocker once again. Managed to get some points last week, but this week probably not until the world explodes and Division 2 has some safety cars or a red flag, which are possible, I think, with the settings we have. But yeah, once you're out of that DRS train, you're gonna struggle. As Scream managed to save some battery. I think the D2 drivers might run some lower wings, that might help them a bit. But Liam is still gonna fly past. Is he? No, not. We have a lead change, but just the Ferraris working together. Oh, Liam goes for the left side. Don't think anyone was expecting that, himself included. Goes way too deep, somehow manages to slide around the corner. Ooh, let's Luke and Petuka, yeah. Also go off track there.
Just went way too deep into hairpin there, just went flying off the track as we've seen. RJ, is that? No, it's Recurrish go flying into the pit lane. We've seen some contact into the pit lane, I think, there between Adamako and Recurrish. So there might be some damage there for Adamako. I don't know if he was just hitting with his rear wing there, but when I went on board, the cars looked like they were flailing all over the place.
Yeah, they were ghosting a bit, so probably bumped into each other. That's going to be the biggest undercut you will ever see that Rick is doing right now. I can tell you it's so strong. And the mediums are not that bad in the end. It's a bit early, maybe 2 laps late he would have pitted. But yeah, he's going to probably jump the whole train.
Yeah, and we've seen Lifeboat again on them hard tyres. He's starting to get a bit more grip, it seems like, as he's closing in on D-Morts. He's just sitting within 2 tenths as Liam down. The entrance to the next corner went very wide and was nearly on the grass. So he's trying to carry that extra speed there, but he just needs to be careful as he's in the dirty air, so make sure he doesn't want to light up the tyres and spin.
Yeah, very easy to do. Just overheat them slightly, and then once you lose traction, it's gone. Lifeboat doing a really good job. The Heart's still not really the quicker tyre at this stage, but he makes it work. And if he wastes his ERS now, which he does, presses the button, Mort is defending. It's going to be costly for both of them. As they're catching the guys ahead almost. Lifeboat is going to go down the inside. Oh, as Liam brakes really early, catching out everyone. And the Lifeboat just down the inside of Mort's. Mort's with a bit of traction. Please don't stick it in there. You don't want to go side by side. On the inside in the last corner. Yeah, wise decision. Pulls out of it. And Lifeboat absolutely carries millions of km speed through that corner. And does he dump the ERS? No, he wants to stay behind Liam for now. But what an exit. How much grip has he got at the moment? It's looking good for him.
As Alex the G's trying to squeeze and move up the inside there of turn 3 into the gap was always closing as D-Morts closed the door. He's lucky to still be facing the right way, to be honest there, but Alex the G again, he's getting a bit desperate. He had it quite easy last week, you'd have to say. He's just chilling with the leaders, sitting in behind. It's different when you're down in the middle of the pack. It's a dogfight.
Yeah, definitely. And look at that, Larkin, even with wing change, 6 seconds out of Rick. Unreal stuff. As the Stope is really close to Alex. And Alex and G is really dropping. Adamako in the pits again, for a second time. Did he get damaged and not really get it repaired?
I think he must have got damage on the entrance to pit lane. They didn't repair it in the pits, so that's ruined his race, you have to say. But Alex in the exit of turn 6 there just got very squirrely and lost all control of the car, which allowed Top to close up. But as he's done again in this race, he's managed to just close in with the DR. I've lost English again. He's managed to close in to keep the DRS train intact.
I'm a bit worried about you. You're not having a stroke, are you? All good. At least there's someone in the party can speak English, but it's not me. Lifeboat on the hard tires. Is he gonna undercut anytime soon? They're all gonna drop in. Larkin, who's now at the back of offside, probably gonna fly past on the straight. Yes, he does. Chris is into the pits. Yes, they are. Okay, Tope and Chris into the pits. So now it's gonna get busy in the pit lane, and two of the Ferrari drivers is now gonna have the priority.
Yeah, I'd say just whoever's leading, so it was probably going to be a Fashion Gold Ben this lap out. He's very close to the back of June, but we've seen quite a few other drivers pit now, so I think they just should just pit just to cover off the undercut just in case, as we saw Larkin, as you were saying. What was it, 6 seconds ahead of Rick?
Yep. And Rick himself is going to be miles ahead of Tope. 3 seconds! Over 3 seconds. He was not even close to the top of the train. Yeah, he's going to trump everyone as well. Larkin, is he going to make it to the end with these tyres? Probably quicker to pit another time quite late on another set of mediums. But yeah, it's just so confusing, this track with the strategies, and everything is still open, especially with the possibility of virtual safety cars. We're still 20 drivers in this Division 2.
I'm just going to go on board quickly now with Fashion Gold as he's really close to the back of June, and he's not using his battery. I think he just wants to sit in behind, but he's going to have the DRS, so is he going to potentially go for the move? But one of the Ferraris has to pit this lap just to cover off the undercut of Larkin. Has anything happened?
Nope, and Fashion Gold lifted really early on. Oh, gets a bit out of shape. If True wants to win, he's pitting now. Question is, does he? No, he's not. And Fashion Gold either. Oh, as he almost loses it again. And Scream is gaining. Scream gained a second that lap almost. They have to play this careful, and I'm quite surprised the medium runners ahead of the train didn't pit yet. We got Luke and RJW in the pits. It's all gonna break up a bit now with those undercuts, the big undercuts, and then the fresher tires being quite a bit quicker. As Miami also makes his way into the pits, Darry is in. It's getting busy and confusing. Oh, that was an unsafe release and a half from the McLaren guys. Luke on the softs? Question mark?
Oh dear, what is going on?
Well, Nathan made them work in Division 1 for quite a while on the first stint, but that wouldn't have been my first choice, I can tell you that.
I guess if he's got a good tyre, he should be able to make it, but got to say, was having a joke about the Ferrari strategy early on, and I think it's happened, to be honest. I think they've made a massive mistake there, because also Scream was closing in. They looked like they were struggling with the car, especially Fashion Gold kept lighting up the rear tyres, but they seem to have stabilised it this lap around, so I don't think Scream's gained anything, but they just need to be careful now, as one of them should pit just to cover off any undercut.
Oh, Lifeboat decides to press the button again. Down the inside, is Liam fighting it? Not quite, he has a slipstream. Lifeboat doesn't. Lifeboat down the inside of both of them. Now Scream brakes late, anticipates him going deep. Good decision. If anyone wants to pit from these two, it's gonna be awkward. Are they gonna go straight? Oh, really close. Oh, it's an off track. Controversial. If that was a move made before he went off track. But it's the way it is right now, and they're still not pitting. I'm quite surprised.
I'm just a bit confused with West Coast. We've got a yellow flag down the back of the track. I think that's Chill. Yep, it is. Just span around there on the exit as Chris now comes into the pit lane, but Wesker pit quite early to go into them hard tyres, and he was just behind Luke, and I think he's now 4 seconds behind Luke, so I think he must have had some kind of adventures on his laps. It's 5 seconds, the gap with Luke pulling away. Now as Luke again lining up the move outside over as Chris has retired in the pit lane.
Yeah, Oxide had his own donut out of the hairpin. As you see here, getting overtaken by Luke on the fresh softs. And Chill just doing chill things. Probably thought he won the race, did some donuts. Not worth it. Into the pits. He's gonna retire maybe, we'll see. He's already done 13 laps on the tyres, probably not. Probably sticks to it and hopes for a safety car. And still the leaders haven't pit. And Chill goes onto softs. Fair enough.
His Lifeboat again, he's lining up a move on Scream. He's got the DRS. He isn't using any of his ERS, he's going to let the DRS and the slipstream do the work as he absolutely breezes past Scream there and just gets the move done before the hairpin. And then goes into the hairpin, Scream again, getting very close to rear end as Liam goes for a dive up the inside there. It's a bit too late, makes a bit of contact, and potentially D-Morts can capitalise on this as we've seen a switch for the lead as Hume finally comes into the pit lane. As
Fashion Goal is in trouble.
Very
Everyone overtakes in the pit lane. Look at that side by side. How did they make it? How did they stop it in time? They're inside each other. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Another unsafe release and a half.
Yeah, I was on board with Lifeboat there, and he just forgot to brake for the pit lane. He nearly hit the wall on the outside. Luke's at the fastest lap and then Scream. I've never seen that before. Someone get a switch back on the entrance of the pit lane.
Yeah. And look, Rick is ahead of Joom. Rick is ahead of Joom. So Rick is the net leader if you discount Larkin.
And Joom is on the hard tyres.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be an exciting last couple of laps. So many different strategies. Luke is going to go down the inside with his soft tyres of Joom. He's going to go a bit deep. Yeah, drifts Joom just on the apex. A little bit wide on the curb, but just left enough space. And Joom really has to get his tyres up to temperature right now and stay with them as much as possible. I think the Ferraris are a bit in trouble. They left it too late.
Yeah, I think their one saving grace though is their battery. Especially on Joom anyway. Oh, well,
not with Fashion Gold anymore, he just squeezed it.
Joom has over 90% ERS, whereas Luke ahead, even though he has the much fresher tyres, or not the much fresher tyres, but the much softer tyres, only has 10% so Joom could potentially repass Luke and try to burn Luke's tyre.
I don't know if he wants to, he seems to hold back a bit. Luke almost lost it there. And yeah, yeah, he's lifting, he doesn't want to go for the move. He thinks Luke's tyres are quicker. It's Liam down the inside of Scream. Ooh, Alex G speeding in the pit lane. That's unnecessary. Fashion Gold going on softs. Okay, split strategies with the Ferraris. Oh, this is all gonna be a bit awkward and confusing.
You were talking about how overpowered the undercut was, and I think it's just been proved. Larkin is now in the lead. Obviously, could he maybe get to the end? 20 laps on mediums, I think it'd be doable, but very, very difficult, and he definitely will not keep his speed that he's at now. But Recurish has also closed down that 6-second gap and is just within DRS range now, as Hume has passed Luke. Yeah,
True just flew past Luke on the start-finish straight. It's all going to bunch up, and so many people on different tyres with different tyre ages. Oh dear me, that will be confusing for us as hell. Let's see who picked the best strategy. Fashion Gold is in P9! He was P1 before the pit stops, and now he's P9 on the freshest of softs. Only one lap fresher than Warts and Scream, who are 5 seconds behind. Unreal.
It's a very poor strategy, you have to say, but a lot of the field opting for the soft compounder tyres, so I think Taupe is most certainly going to struggle because he's gone for a bit older hards, obviously, because he picked quite early on, but he's got 4 soft runners in behind him, and then 2 medium runners, and then another soft run of Alex the G, who's just got past Wesker, I think, on them hard tyres.
And Rick is now in the lead. He sent it down the inside of Larkin. Larkin probably thinking about pitting soon, or if he's just going to stick to it. Hope for the best. Yeah, he's staying with them. Oh, as Troom almost pushes in on the start-finish straight. Troom is gonna get both of them. Sees Rick derating around the outside. Oh, that's close stuff. And Troom now in a good position if he can make the hards work. Also Lifeboat, don't count him out yet. He's on medium, same age as the soft runners. He will come into play in like 8 laps time.
I'm just shocked at Fashion Gold, to be honest. P1 before the pit stop phase, and he's now down in P9 with no battery, and he's burning it when he doesn't have any. There's nothing to burn anymore, so he needs to save that battery if he wants to make overtakes. That's purple sector 1, but he's not going to be getting past D-Morts anytime soon with a 3% battery.
Such a difficult balance on this track with how big the undercut is, and if you want to save better tyres for the end. Alex the G and Petuka were just sent side by side. Oh, that's not going to end well. That's a war crime and a half. Drifting across the circuit, Petuka. Someone makes it work. Wesker can't believe his eyes what's happening in front of him. And Alex G having a really rough race tonight. drops down, and Miami's gonna get him for good measure as well. No moves up there. Scream really close. Oh, no, we're going on that straight. Side by side, ahead as well. Is Scream pushing the battery? No, he's very wise with it, very conservative tonight. Luke, no battery, he just can't get past Larkin. Not sending it either. McLaren's reunited in P4 and 5 as Larkin gives Rick a little kiss.
That's just allowed June to just fly away. He's now got a 2-second lead again. And he's burned through his entire battery.
Larkin to the pits.
Look at June's battery now.
Oh, what? He was an 82 laps ago. Oh, that's gonna hunt him later on, I can tell you that. Liam with a beautiful switch back into turn 1. Is Luke gonna hold it? He's gonna go deep. Is Liam gonna have enough space and traction? Fresher tires for him, obviously. Now with the slipstream, Fashion Gold is really interested in this one as well. Go on board with him. Down inside, Liam around the outside. Luke is not having any of that. Pushes him wide, like there's no tomorrow. Liam is saying, I'm not having that. I'm not sure if he got the legal overtake with that. Oh, as they make contact again. Oh, Liam around.
It's yellow.
Liam around. With Luke and Fashion Gold, just some contact there. Really confusing stuff, but he just costs himself. They all are really ambitious, and now Fashion Gold from P9 1 lap ago to P4.
Again, I spoke too soon. It was the commentator's curse, but in a good way this time of Fashion Gold. As he's now on the back of Scream, he's burning all the battery that he doesn't have in Scream. He's now burning his battery to stay ahead, as he knows it's really important to stay ahead. Rick also has no battery, so Fashion Gold has now moved up into P3. As I've got a now, which is absolutely horrible.
Yep. Fashion Gold also scrubbing a bit on the tires of P2 of Scream, but now can the soft runners catch Troom with a heart? Who still has no battery. Absolute zero. That poor thing. Oh yeah, the sound glitch is really back. But Fashion Gold now past Scream. Yeah, the Ferrari 1-2 has been reinstated, but at what cost? We don't know. Rick's still hanging on with old mediums. Larkin has gone on to fresh soft, so he should be the quickest man on track. Maybe can rescue some points. But yeah, really confusing race. Scream just hanging in with Fashion Gold. almost 8 laps to go. I think Zoom is in a decent position if Lifeboat doesn't make his way through.
Yeah, also maybe the potentially Fashion Gold is going to use up his tyres more. This sound glitch is going away on my end, which is lovely, but he's going to keep pushing on here, and he's 3.1 seconds behind, getting 3 tenths just through them corners alone, so he wants to make sure he doesn't burn through his tyres too much there. It looks like it was a little bit deep, but going back on board, the DRS train we had has just completely evaporated. We've got a massive field spread from P9 to P16.
Yep.
Larkin is very close to the back of Darry now.
And Lifeboat is really close to Mort, who's flashing, attacking Luke himself. Lifeboat just staying behind, keeping cool. Probably gonna try to go for the switch back on both of them, as Rick gets a bit included in there as well. Probably didn't want that to happen. And it's all bunching up now for P4, as Larkin gets past Darry, as I have no sound anymore for a second, okay. Yeah, sound is broken completely. Still intense battle for P3, side by side. Too wide. Oh, too wide to Mort somehow stays alive. Lifeboat is going to have both of them if he uses the battery wisely this lap, and he needs to get past as soon as possible to make the use of his mediums. Leader is not losing too much time yet. Luke and Rick still having a little argument there. Oh, it's all bumping and humping everywhere. It's not gonna go well. Rick and Luke through the fast section. Lifeboat wants to go for the inside. You don't want to touch that curb. Is he gonna send it around the outside? He wanted to. Oh, collisions everywhere. Constantine through the whole field. It's a McLaren 3-4 again.
Lifeboat there has probably done the best overtake of the race by far, and Mort's the open this lap just threw the car around the outside and just hope it stuck, and it did. Just carried his speed all the way around the outside and just managed on to move, so we got a switch there between Scream and Luke, and what's that?
I think Scream wanted to get the DRS, but he forgot the DRS, so there's 200 meters behind him. Oh, as it's 3 wide! And they're gonna catch Luke as well. Oh, it's gonna be 4 wide almost. Oh my, no. Don't do it. Oh, McLaren's colliding a little bit. Somehow they make it through, but that costs a lot of battery and a lot of nerves. And it's the Haas against the McLarens, and Scream is around. They save it. Beautiful save. Gets caught, you can't go side by side in that last corner. Gets caught, saves it somehow, but the battle is not over. Lifeboat now makes his way into P3. It's too late though, probably, to make use of the mediums. Maybe he can reel in Fashion Gold towards the end, but I think Droom has got this one in the bag now.
Yeah, June drove beautifully today, you have to say. Got into the hard tyres, which are meant to be absolutely dreadful to drive on, and he's just managed to maintain the gap to Fashion Gold who's on soft tyres. So, been a flawless drive. No mistakes as of yet. Obviously, I've been commentating, cursing everyone today, so hopefully nothing happens. As Patuka again closing in on the back of Top, who's on them hard tyres, and he can't make them work. As Patuka is going to fly around the outside and turns into the inside. Side by side, then as Patuka's going to back out. Surely, yeah, he does just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just not much grip out there when in those fast corners. Once you're off the line of it, there's just no traction and no grip for the front. Wisely backed out of it in that case. And Lifeboat almost dropping Luke already. He's beginning to struggle with Rick. And now Patuka should be an easy move on Tope. But Tope is using the ERS now. It's gonna be a bit of a stalemate if he gets a slipstream. RJW also getting a bit interested in that. Or does he go down to the inside? No, he doesn't. Patuka makes the corner. And we have the DRS train again. If he catches up, down to P9 from P3.
Yeah, and I don't really know where RJ's come from in this race. He was chilling down P15, 16, lost DRS, and he's now up in P9, so he's somehow found some pace from somewhere. Larkin has just got past Wesker there, and he's gained 1.3 seconds on Scream up ahead. So that's for the final points paying position here, so Larkin's going to be desperate to get to that.
Yeah, Larkin is recovering to the points pretty well, I think. And we see Rick is struggling now on the mediums. Yeah, he just fell out of the DRS window of Luke. Was struggling himself on 9 lap on soft. His softs are going to be absolutely dreadful in the end. Oh, Rick almost loses it on the curb. Yeah, that's probably just cost him too much time to Luke in terms of DRS. Lifeboat is reeling in Fashion Gold really quickly now. So it should be a decent chance for P2 for Lifeboat. As Larkin is now getting past Scream. Scream picked up front wing damage in that huge cackle of cars when they were fighting a couple of hours ago. He has no front end. Lets Wesker by as well. Good sportsmanship. Not fighting with a broken front wing. Not costing anyone else's race.
In the DRS train from Luke down to RJ, the most DRS someone has is 16%. So they've not been mentioned. Oh, there's Recur's gone way too deep there. I think he's just wiped out Luke.
Yeah, Luke was facing the other way, but somehow didn't lose that much time. Oh, it's all gonna get confusing again. Oh, Luke is getting put on a curb. They probably have no ERS. Everyone is short on battery at the moment. Well, we have seen a lot of battery in the race, but not this kind of. Luke's still down the inside. There's so much grip on the inside of turn 1. They took a halter on the outside though. I don't think Luke is gonna have the traction and power out of the corner, and Scream retires in the pits. So really disappointing for him. He had a good first round, was looking good for a long time, but now it isn't. And yeah, Lifeboat has just been unleashed.
Yeah, Chill again has spun down the back of the field the same corner, but I think the top 3 has been cemented, has to be said. D-Marts is too far back to challenge Lifeboat here, but D-Marts has had a good drive as well, but Recursion is going to keep falling away on these tyres now, so D-Marts might just want to put a bit more pressure on, just try push a bit more to drop him out of the DRS range, otherwise he could come back and get him down the straight soon.
I don't think anything is cemented in DV2. You never know. Chill and his favourite corner, the snail section that got named after him in China, he's not making friends with that. At least he's not retiring in the pits, which is great to see. But yeah, he's gonna get roasted by me in the commentators chat after the race. These just spotted two things, and it's concerning. The Ferraris up on the field. They're both
Oh
having
no.
the fuel message. And I can tell you what, it's really hard to save fuel on this track. So Lifeboat might be still in for this one.
Yeah, I've just seen Hume lifting and coasting, and he just lost about a second to his teammate who's just pushing on. So I think Lifeboat, again, you said you were right saying nothing's cemented in D2. That's just a massive curve on the race there. I think Lifeboat is probably the favourite to win out of nowhere. I think he started like P8, something like that as well.
It's getting spicy as Rick and Petuka having a little ding-dong. Petuka on way fresher tires. Well, I don't think you can call 8-lap old softs in China fresh, but makes it work down the inside, and now you can go after D-Mortsus and 9-lap old softs. And Lifeboat, he needs to get the DRS this lap, and then he can catapult himself even closer towards the Ferraris. That's why they were lifting and coasting so early on as well. Probably underestimated how much fuel you actually need. As Gary is also saying in the general chat. Ferrari's out of fuel. Strategy blunder again, question mark. Still both of them having the light on. Lifeboat, has he gotten the DRS? I don't think he has. Nope. He's not. He needed that to stay close, but how much are they gonna have to save?
I've been on board with Hume, and I think he's quite far under because he's lifting and coasting so much. Like, look at the time loss there just through the hairpin, just from how early he was lifting. Lost half second. We've seen a lot of position switching there between Top and Luke down the back of the field. I think we're finally seeing Luke's softs finally die off, but there's not long left now, only 2 laps left for him. The sound glitch is once again back. So hopefully that can get fixed soon, but Patuka is very close behind D-Mort, saying he's going to maybe try throw it around the outside, like what he did earlier on. Just doesn't have the grip versus D-Marts to get around.
Yeah, oh look at the lifting coasting. Yeah, Jum is actually playing Formula E. He's lifting so early on the straights. Fashion Gold is all out of shape. Okay, Lifeboat needs to make this move this lap. I'm trying to spot how much fuel they have on the steering wheels, but it's quite hard to see. I don't think you can see it from here. But they're in trouble. Oh, as Fashion Gold is completely dropping off. His tires are cooked. Absolutely cooked.
He's on the freshest soft tyres as well, so I wonder what's going to happen around the rest of the field. As he lets him through there, is that maybe DRS chicken? Is he going to get DRS down this main straight now to help his team out, you could say?
Probably won't have to rear tyres here to get the exit. Let's see. Does Lifeboat get the DRS from the Ghost? No, he didn't. Yeah, Fashion Gold. Either he's just saving fuel, or he wants to play the DRS game. Is he going to send it down the inside, or is he going to lift early? Let's see. Yeah, he's lifting early. He's in trouble.
Lifting.
He's in trouble. He's in trouble. They're both in trouble. It's red now. It's red. They're not going to make it. Red means I think it's under 1 lap. They're not going to make it.
Oh no.
It's shambles. It's shambles. Oh no.
Oh, my
Oh no.
Go back to the battle for P4 here. Patuka's really close on the back of D-Mort. Is he going to use his ERS, or is he going to wait for the back strays? Got the run, he's got the ERS advantage, but he's not using his ERS, he's just sitting in behind, but he didn't want to sit behind for too long here, because Rick, again, is only 4 tenths behind somehow, and then really old mediums now, you have to say. He's keeping himself in it. His top also, and then hard tyres might be coming back now. He's getting really close to Rick, and he's potentially looking for the move to go up into P6.
I'm just all on board now with June. I want to see when and if he runs out of fuel. Ooh. Is he gonna run out of fuel here? Not yet, is he? Oh, he's short shifting, crawling on the track. 4th gear on the apex. Oh, it's gonna be close. Does Lifeboat? Yeah, Lifeboat has more than enough fuel. And I think everyone else as well, almost. Ooh, someone almost lost it. Is June gonna run out of fuel on the straight, or can he just about coast into the finish? Oh, its gap is coming down, 1.9, 1.8. Let's listen, then money's gonna run out. He's fine for now. Think he has enough? He has enough. Or does he? We have yellow flag. No clue. That is probably
Fashion Gold, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, Fashion Gold's out of fuel.
Zoom is out of fuel! Zoom is out of fuel! Lifeboat is gonna get him on the line! Lifeboat is gonna get him on the line! He's so close! He's got him! He's got him! Oh my god! Oh my
It's a
god!
double Haspodium out of nowhere. Fashion Gold is falling down the order. Fashion Gold's gone into the pit lane. What?
What?
Why is Fashion Gold retired in the pit?
Oh, he's probably done. He's probably done with it. Yeah, he's left the session. He's not amused. What happened?
What in the
What an
Ferrari
exit.
strategy was? Yeah, but why did he retire? Because he's not going to finish. Like,
Yeah.
look, he's not getting points.
Oh no! Oh, I was joking about how Joom is gonna bottle the race. You were saying how cemented everything is, and we end up with Lifeboat winning the race. Great drive from him by 2/10, driving through Joom on the start-finish straight. This is insane. This is insane.
Kurik managing to get P4 and got up P5. Some good points there. Larkin managed to get P10 after that early wing damage. Wesker getting his first point of the season. It's just a very surprising grid, to be honest there. That's just shocked me.
Unreal. Unreal. I can't believe I've never seen that. Never ever seen that. What an evening this is in League of Europe. Catch back up with Division 1 and Division 2. Division 4 is only on lap 22 because they're having huge issues with the same weather that Division 1 has, but just throw a couple of safety cars in there. It's absolute carnage everywhere. I don't know what's happening and how did he run out of fuel on the last straight? They even were together the whole race. How much did they underfuel by? Unreal.
I've got so many questions that I need to ask.
Unreal. Yeah, they saved fuel the whole race, and they still ran out of it. I don't know if that Ferrari had some illegal fuel flow issues again, but Lifeboat, can't believe it. Beautiful podium animation. Jan Obmer in a Haas looks cursed as hell. And for the international flag, he's gonna win the race, the Chinese Grand Prix. Two really unexpected winners tonight in Division 1 and Division 2. And I don't know anymore. I've never seen that.
Oh, Jesus.
Speechless.
Completely.
Unreal. Yeah, so the final results, I guess, are Lifeboat winning by 2/10, driving through Joom, ran out of fuel in the last corner. Fashion Gold was P3 and looked good for a podium. Dropped all the way out of points, retired before the line. So that makes Joom getting P2, Petuka P3, Rick P4, with 2 Finns in the top 5. Tope P5, Mort's P6, RJW in P7. Luke somehow holds onto his soft tires in P8. Miami P9, Larkin with a 2-stop and a broken front wing. Only 10 seconds off the lead in the end. In 10th, Alex the G with a 5-second penalty, still in P11. And Wesker in P12 with 10 seconds off P11. Gets the point. I don't know what to say. What an evening this has been. The chats are going crazy, and I want to see those onboards and party reactions of the people of Division 2. Absolutely mental. I don't think that can be topped this season, can it?
No. That's somehow topped T1, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And that was a very interesting race as well, and this is just flipped on its head within a matter of 2 laps. It's unreal.
Unreal. So I think that concludes it. Go watch the end of Division 4. That's still going. Quite an interesting battle for the win there as well. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you very much for co-commentating, Mr. Funky Chicken. And your mic was actually fine tonight, which is great. So
I can hope it stays that way.
Yeah, you said last time you don't have social, so I'll just plug mine. Follow NSX Montana absolutely everywhere. Patreon, OnlyFans, Fun with Feed, whatever. See you next week. Have a good one. Wrong button, fuck.